Hello Eagle-Gryphon gamers, my name is Rachel, and in this overview we are taking a look at Maniacal. In Maniacal, players take on the role of 5 aspiring villains and their lackeys, building their secret base, hiring henchmen, and completing maniacal plans to become the most successful villain of all time. So, let's practice your evil laugh. And let's get down to business. Maniacal is played over 3 rounds, each consisting of 4 phases. Phase 1 is the base building phase. In the base building phase, deal 5 room cards to each player. Each player will now draft a card that they want to either sell or keep. Once everyone has drafted a card, everyone will either build or sell a card that they have chosen. Then players will pass the remaining cards in the direction indicated by the round tracker, either clockwise or counterclockwise. If you choose to build the room, you will pay its cost and place the card next to your supervillain card. Then gain attraction points listed on the room you built by moving your tokens on the corresponding track. If you choose to sell the card, discard the room card and take the money equal to the card's cost. Drafting continues until all players have built and or sold 3 rooms. The 2 extra room cards are discarded. Note that the room cards give ongoing benefits, extra actions, and some specific to fulfilling contracts. Phase 2, the henchman phase. Now you will see how well your evil lair attracts the henchmen located on the main board. In Maniacal, there are 6 types of henchmen: beasts, criminals, scientists, mystics, lackeys, and mercenaries. Lackeys are gained during the setup, and mercenaries have special rules, which will be discussed later. This phase is focused on the other 4. Going in order from top to bottom, starting with the beast track, look to see whose marker is the furthest on the track. This player is able to take the available henchmen matching the corresponding track, as long as you can pay the cost. For example, if the beast costs 3 attraction points, reduce your marker by 3 and reveal the next card. If you are still furthest on the attraction track, you may hire the next henchman that was revealed. If you are no longer the furthest on the track, the player who is next seizes the opportunity to hire that henchman for themselves. If at any point the player furthest on the attraction track cannot afford the henchman, no one can recruit them this round. Only 2 henchmen are allowed to be recruited from each faction during this phase. Phase 3, contract phase. In this phase, players will send out their henchmen and their lackey to do their sinister deeds. First, players will transfer their time tokens from the player order track to the time track that is associated with the current round. The tokens will be stacked on the leftmost space, placing the last player on the bottom going up to the first player on the top. The player token that is the furthest to the left of the track is the active player. If this space is shared by multiple player tokens, the token on the top indicates the active player. When you are the active player, you must take one of the following actions: activate the room action, attempt a contract, visit special locations, or pass. Each action costs a certain amount of time that you will spend by moving your token to the right on the time track. Once you have completed your action, if you are still the leftmost and or topmost token, then you are once again the active player. One action that you can do is activating a room in your lair. To do so, place a supervillain meeple or henchman card on the room that you want to activate, then pay the time listed on the card. Then take that listed action. The supervillain or any henchman cards that were used are exhausted. They're tired. They cannot be used anymore during this round. Attempting a contract is at the heart of this game and is the main way to score points, gain cash, and even some epic powers. But be warned, attempting your contracts also comes with a risk. First, select which of the contracts that you would like to fulfill. Each contract is located in a particular region, and the time cost which you must pay to travel to is different for each supervillain. The contract cards inform you of the contract's difficulty, recommended trait your team should have, and henchman team size requirement to attempt this contract. Once you declare which henchman you will use for this contract, players have the opportunity to play one scheme card they have against you. In clockwise order, starting from the left of the active player, a player may choose to play a negative effect on their scheme card. Only one scheme card can be played when the contract is attempted. So, first come, first serve when it comes to playing that scheme card. Next, flip over the contract card and resolve it. Here you will find some flavor text and rewards for successfully completing or failing the contract. To complete the contract, you must roll the target number listed in the upper right corner of the contract card. Your henchman that you sent to this contract indicates what type of dice and how many of that type that you get to roll. When you roll, each symbol shown indicates a success. However, if you rolled the symbol matching the trait on the contract, it counts as 2 successes. Don't forget to activate any rooms that might aid you when attempting to complete a contract. Some effects on contracts are positive, and others are negative. When you see this symbol, you may gain a scheme card. This symbol allows you to draw a power card and assign it to one of the henchmen you sent to this contract. Your henchman can also be injured. If a henchman is injured, they cannot be sent to future contracts without being healed first. If you see this symbol, a henchman you sent to this contract is captured. Remove that henchman from the game. Players also have the choice to visit a special location where you can gain a scheme card, remove an injury from a henchman, and hire mercenaries. For each option, you will need to reduce your time marker by 2. Mercenaries function just like any other henchman, with one exception. In the cleanup phase, they are returned to the bottom of their deck. If you don't want to or can't do any of the other actions, you must pass. Spend the remaining amount of time that you have left by moving your token on the next leftmost spot on the player order track. You must pass if you are not or cannot take one of the other actions. Once the contract phase is finished, the cleanup phase begins, paying the salary of $1 to each henchman, including mercenaries and lackeys. Afterwards, mercenaries immediately go back to the bottom of the mercenary deck. Any henchman that wasn't paid immediately leaves the game. You are also able to fire any henchman after paying them their salary. If it is round 1 or 2, refresh all exhausted henchmen and supervillains. Discard all of the contract cards on the main board and then refresh them based on which round you are in. Lastly, move the round marker and begin the next round. If it is the end of the 3rd round, it's time to score some points and to see who is the most maniacal supervillain. First, collect the amount of infamy points based on who has the most money. First receives 15 points, second receives 10, third 6, and so on. Now look at the point track, and whoever has the most wins. This family weight game has some variants for 2 players, experienced players, and more, but I'll let you discover those rules on your own. So what are you waiting for? Head over to our website or your favorite retailer and pick up a copy for yourself. Then join our Discord where you can tell everyone about your experience. The links for our website, socials, and Discord can be found in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next overview.